This is a review of the HealthPro MBC-M160Q professional trekking pole. It's made with 99% carbon fiber. You can buy these trekking poles in singles or in pairs. One pole weighs in at 8 1/4 ounces, and that includes the weight of the basket that you can screw onto the end. They are extendable from 25 to 55 inches. The pole comes with a wrist strap that is adjustable, so you can carry it and not drop it if you like to prevent loss when you're out traveling. Here you have a top handle to hold on to. You also have a nice grip with edges here to give you a firm grip. This is foam covered and very comfortable. And then this is also foam covered. If you want to quickly just use it for a shorter pole, you can, instead of readjusting it, you just rest down here and go up a steeper hill, for example. Here you can see two snaps that close. They're closed now, and if you raise them up, you can extend the pole. And as you pull it out, you can see here on the side that there are dimensions in millimeters that you can remember what's your favorite setting for going uphill, for going downhill, so you can quickly reset the pole to fit your needs. The markings are here, and if you go out a certain distance, you can see here at the end it says stop. You want to leave this much still stuck inside the pole. Now you can lift up this center one and also do an adjustment here, and it's also marked for you so you can see the dimensions, and it helps you, like I said, always set the same dimension. After you use this for a while, you'll see what the min and max length you want to use. Always securely lock this down so that the pole stays rigid for walking. If it gets a little loose, you want to open this up, tighten this just a little bit, and close it back down. That way it'll hold firmly onto the rod. Here on the end you see a rubber tip. That's great. It's got knurls on it like the tread of a shoe. It's great for walking on concrete or rocks, or flat surfaces, or on asphalt. Here you have the cap will pop off. This exposes a tungsten carbide tip that's flat, but it's cupped so that it will bite into things like ice or slippery surfaces. So this helps you go over slick surfaces without falling. This is a basket. It's threaded, and you can push this up here and it will screw on. It's a little bit tight, and what that does is it lets you walk on soft surfaces like mud or marshy areas, and helps you maintain your balance and be able to keep moving your feet properly. As I mentioned before, the pole is extendable from 25 inches to 55 inches. That's the size that would fit a small child, and I'm 6'2", and 55 inches was too long for me. So I would imagine if you're like 6'5" or so, it'd still be a great hiking pole. This is a great product. I mean, if you're going to go out hiking and do a lot of it, using poles helps protect your knees. It helps preserve the joints like your knees, ankles, hips, even your back. And it helps strengthen your muscles because you're using your upper body while you're walking. One of the best things is that if you're going on a tricky trail that's a little slick, maybe a little steep, going up or downhill, these poles provide extra stability on the trail and keep you from falling. When you're going uphill, you shorten the pole a little bit so you can reach up and grab into the slope. If you're walking on level ground, you want it the length so that your forearm is parallel to the ground when you're holding it in your hand. And if you're going downhill, you want to extend it so you can touch the pole and take the pressure off your knees when going downhill. I have a knee injury from playing sports. Something like this is really helpful when I go out hiking. This is an excellent quality pole. The poles that weigh less cost more because you have to carry it. You're swinging it back and forth. With this thing only weighing in at 8 1/4 ounces, you almost can't tell you have it in your hand. High-grade poles are made of aluminum or carbon fiber, with carbon fiber being the more expensive poles. I mentioned this rubber tip is good for walking on concrete and asphalt, and you can see the surface here is sort of knurled to give it a rough surface. But you also want to put that back on there before you collapse this pole and maybe stick it in your backpack. That carbide tip is pretty hard and pretty sharp, and you want to protect the items in your backpack. Another great use of a trekking pole, if you're walking through the woods, sometimes you got to push shrubs and tree branches out of your way rather than have them hit you in the face. It's always ideal for that too. This is an excellent product. It's very high quality. I like the weight. It's the lightest pole I've ever picked up. Usually they're around 10 to 13 to 14 ounces for fiberglass and for carbon fiber. This is an excellent product. I rate it at 5 stars. This review is done by JJ CEO. I'd like to tell you that I was provided a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to give a fair and honest review.